Hi kindergartners, we are just getting ready to start week number 3 in our remote learning book, and this week we're on lesson 23 in Journeys. We are going to be learning a new letter, so I have a new alpha friend to show you. We have 6 new word wall words, and then I'm going to read you the story from this unit, or from this lesson from this unit. So first we have our new alpha friend. Her name is Edna Elephant. Edna Elephant, if you look right here at her ear and her trunk, kind of makes a letter. Can you guess what letter it is? That's right, it's the letter E. Edna Elephant is for the letter E. Remember, E is a vowel. A, E, I, O, and U are all vowels. And E makes the sound not ah. Our mouth doesn't open big, but it's kind of made back here in your throat. When we look inside, we can see that there are some things that start with in our picture. We've got some eggs, eggs. This is an elk, elk. These trees are elm trees, elm trees. And of course, Edna and elephant both start with that sound. So our new letter this week is E. You're going to be practicing it this week in your book. Capital E is really easy. It's just those straight lines. So a straight line down, a line across the top, in the middle, and on the bottom. The lowercase e, across, up, and around. So you can practice that letter this week. We have 6 new word wall words. The first one is the word she. It is spelled S-H-E. She. Spell it S-H-E. She. This sentence says, she works in the garden. She. We use the word she when we talk about a woman or a girl. We might say, she is my sister, or is she your cousin Lynn? Does it make sense to say, she is my grandmother? Yes. How about, she is my brother? No. All right, our next word is all. All is spelled A-L-L. All. Spell it A-L-L. All. Look at all the colorful flowers. All. We use the word all when we mean every person or everything. We might say, we are all going to the park, or are all these vegetables from our garden? You can pause the video and ask or talk to a grown-up and answer this question. Would you want all the toys in the world? Why or why not? Our third word wall word is the word over. Over is spelled O-V-E-R. Over. Spell it with me. O-V-E-R. Over. Will the puppy tip over the pot? Over. When you turn something over, you turn it on its side or upside down. You might say, I turned over the rock to look for bugs, or did you flip over the toy car? Number 4 is the word her. H-E-R. Her. Spell it with me. H-E-R. Her. She wore her hat and gloves. We use the word her to tell about something that belongs to a girl or a woman. We might say, I like her backpack, or where is her brother? Word number 5 is the word when. W-H-E-N. When. Spell it with me. W-H-E-N. When. They planted the flowers when it was sunny. Was one of our word wall words last week. Was and when. We use the word when to tell about a time. You also use when to ask questions about time. You might say, Kim knows when to leave for school, or when can you come over? And the last word for this week is the word some. Some is spelled S-O-M-E. It rhymes with the word come, and it's spelled the same way except that first sound. Please give the plants some water. We use the word some when we tell about pieces or parts of something larger. You might say, I have some crackers, or did you drink some milk? All right, now for our story this week. This week's story is called Zinnia's Flower Garden. It was written and illustrated by Monica Wellington. When you're listening to this story, I want you to think about sequence, the order that things happen. When we plant a flower garden, there are certain things that we have to do in a certain order. So pay attention to that because you're going to need that to finish the last part of what we're going to do today. Zinnia's Flower Garden. There she is, getting ready to plant. Spring has arrived. Zinnia is getting her garden ready for planting. She digs up the soil and turns it over with her shovel. She takes out stones and rakes the dirt smooth. The warm sun feels good as she works. So I noticed that the first thing she had to do was get her garden ready after the winter. She had to turn the soil over. She had to get all of the rocks out. Look who else is helping her. Zinnia carefully plants many kinds of flower seeds in rows. She covers the seeds with dirt and pats it all down very gently. She sprinkles the ground with water. Hey, there's our word all. So now she is putting all of those seeds in the dirt and then covering them up and giving them some water. And there are her two helpers again. Oh, I wonder if that bird is helping or if he's about to steal that seed. Zinnia waits for the seeds to sprout. The seeds need the sun to shine, the rain to fall, and many days to pass. It is hard to wait so long for her seeds to grow. Every day, Zinnia checks her garden to see if anything has happened. Look, the first seedling is poking its way up through the dirt. There it is. And you can see here it's showing what's happening underneath the ground. So there's the seed that she planted. Then there are some parts that go down. Those are the roots. And here's the little part of the seedling that's coming up. They get longer and longer until it pops right out of the soil. And she's even keeping a little journal that says, on May 20th, my first seed, or my first sprout today. Wow! Now Zinnia's garden is full of green sprouts growing toward the sun. Little stems grow taller, little leaves get bigger, little roots burrow deeper into the earth. May 29. Lots of sprouts now. I can't even count them all. Zinnia takes care of her garden every day. When the sun is hot and the soil is dry, she waters her thirsty plants. So now that her plants are starting to grow, it's telling us how she takes care of them. She pulls up pesky weeds that try to crowd out her plants. She inspects them for greedy bugs. She measures how tall her strong and healthy plants are growing. Every day they get bigger and bigger. First thing in the morning, Zinnia runs out to check her garden. She is excited to see little buds growing on many of her plants. Looks like she found something else in her garden. There's that life cycle of a butterfly. Eggs to caterpillar to chrysalis to adult butterfly who's ready to fly. And then at last she finds what she has been waiting for, the first flower. One bud has bloomed. How beautiful, and what a sweet smell. There are many more buds that will open soon. The garden grows and grows with blossoming flowers. Zinnia paints, reads, and picnics among them. Butterflies flutter, bees buzz. Zinnia's garden is her favorite place to be on these warm summer days. Her flowers are abundant, and Zinnia cuts some to arrange into bouquets. The fragrant scents of the flowers swirl around her in the warm breeze. One hot summer day, Zinnia has a lemonade stand and puts up a sign, "Pick your own flowers." Customers come and gather bunches of flowers and drop money in her jar. In the autumn, as it gets colder, Zinnia picks the last flowers from her garden. She finds ripe seeds that have formed. They are ready to be collected. She will save them to plant next year. The winter days are short, the sun is dim, and the ground is covered with snow. But Zinnia is already planning next year's garden. When spring comes, she will be ready to grow her very own flowers again. All right. So let's think about the steps that she had to take to plant that garden and get it to grow. And it's a perfect opportunity to do some writing. So the best way to do this is to get a piece of paper and then you just fold it into 4 parts. I traced those lines so that I had 4 boxes, and I wrote a title at the top. It says, "How to Plant and Grow Flowers." And then in each box, I wrote a word. This says first, next, then, last. So if we think about what Zinnia had to do first to get her garden ready, I wonder what you would put in that box. You could put a picture of somebody getting rid of all the rocks and turning the soil over to get it ready for planting. Maybe you skip that step and you start with her planting them, digging a little hole and putting it in the ground. I'm going to draw that on mine. So I'm going to draw the soil, and then I'm going to make some little holes in the soil. And inside those little holes, I'm going to put a seed. And then I'm going to put a little pile of dirt that I'm putting over the top of it. And then I would write the words, first, you dig a hole and plant a seed. Then I would write what happens next, then what, and then last. So this would be a great opportunity for you to do a little bit of writing. Hope to see you soon. Bye, friends.